compound interest 2. What present value must be invested at 3.5% per annum for 6 years so that it grows to $5,000? So now in this case, I've been told what my investment is going to be worth at the end of a period of time. My interest rate's 3.5%, so that's 0.035, and my number of time periods is 6. So placing it into my compound interest formula, I now have 5,000 equals P, because P is what I'm trying to find, 1 plus 0.035, all to the power of 6. So to solve this on my calculator, this is principal times this whole thing in brackets. So to make P by itself, I'm going to divide my 5,000 divided by 1 plus 0.35035, all to the power of 6. And if I pick up my calculator and put that in, what I end up with is the investment that I should make now is $4,067.50. And that's what I need to invest now. And so that at the end of 6 years, it will grow to $5,000. Now, another thing with compound interest, once we've learned to use the formula, is quite often, particularly banks, they don't use the formula. They have developed a table of values. And that's what we need to be able to read now. Use the table below to calculate the final balance. So that's what my investment's going to be worth. When 2,000 is invested at 8% compounded annually, so that's per year for 6 years. Now this table says compounded values of $1. So that's meaning if I take $1 and I invest it at 2% for one time period, it's going to be worth $1.0200. So this is what it's worth at the end of a period of time. Now, if you're given a table of values, you have to use the table of values. You cannot use your compound interest formula. So let's have a look at the first one. I've got $2,000 invested at 8%. Well, here is 8%. It's invested for 6 years. And so what this table is saying to me, that $1 invested for 6 years will be worth 1.5869, but I've invested $2,000, so I'm going to multiply this by 2,000. And when I work that out, I get an answer of $3,173.80. And that's all that we need to do. So let's look at part B. Part B is the final balance, so that's what my investment's going to be worth. Now I've got $14,000 and it's invested for 7 months at 2% per month. Now these are both in months, so I'm looking at 2%. 2% is here, and it's going for 7 time periods. It doesn't really say whether it's years or anything, so I'm going to just be assuming it's for 7 time periods. So now what I have is that I've got my $1 is worth 1.487 after 7 time periods, but I have invested $14,000. So I'm going to multiply by 14,000. And what I'm going to get is a number, and it's $16,081.80. So looking at the final one, we're now looking for the compound interest. So not the final balance, we're interested in just the interest. When 9,600 is invested at 10% for 3 years, compounded half yearly. So we need to do the same things as we did before in our formula. So my rate is 10%, but it's compounded half yearly. So that means it happens twice. So I'm going to divide it by 2, and I get 5%. Now my number of time periods, it's 3 years, but it happens twice a year, so I'm going to multiply that by 2, so I get 6 time periods. So I'm looking at 5% for 6 time periods. So you can see I've got 1.3401 is what $1 is worth, but I've invested $9,600. So I'm going to work that out on my calculator, and I get $12,000 $864.96. Now, once I've done that, I need to find now the compound interest. So compound interest. So what I have here is this number, the 12,000, is what my investment is worth. So I'm going to take that $12,864.96 and I'm going to take away the $9,600 that I actually invested, because the rest of the money is my interest. And the interest I get is $3,264.96. And that's my final answer. And that's all we need to know for compound interest.